Okay. There we go, and we are up. Cool. Let's see if we can get this going. This is kind of a first for me, so bear with me, guys, if this is a little slow. A little bit weird because basically I'm streaming to nobody right now. We're doing a live stream. We're gonna start doing these on probably a weekly-ish basis. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna work through some preferably subscriber problems. Eventually, we're going to move over to where it's just members. But for right now, it's going to be a subscriber problem. I've got a subscriber that's got a problem with the truck, so we're going to do our best to try to help him out and show you guys some of the process of how we do that. So let me see if we can get set up here. Again, bear with me. I'm still kind of figuring this out. So we'll leave our chat open there, and then I guess we'll just go over a little bit of background. I got an email from a subscriber here last week, and I feel bad. I think his name is Nate, because I haven't actually replied to his email yet, which is on me. So, Nick, I apologize. I could have sworn that I sent a quick follow-up, but it didn't get around to it. So, the subscriber, his name is Nick. He's out in Texas, and he emailed me. He said he's got a 2005 Ford F-350 that he's having issues with. He said especially a hot start, especially with the hot start, and or the truck will start to feel like it's shuddering and the truck will shut down and won't start until it's cooled down. So he's asking, could this be a high pressure oil pump or some kind of a concern like that? So a lot of times with the 6 liters, when you've got a hot start or a lack of a hot no start problem, a lot of times that's because of a high pressure oil leak. So there are O-rings in the oil rail, and then also where they go back into the injector. And those O-rings hold high pressure oil. And the thing is, when oil is cold, it's more viscous, it's thicker. So you have the ability for it to start. And then as it warms up, the oil thins out, and then at crank speed, the high pressure pump is not able to overcome that leak to build system pressure to be able to start the truck. So a high pressure oil leak is generally pretty darn common as far as causing a hot no start. Now, if you have a dying while driving, 9 times out of 10, that's not caused by a high pressure oil leak. So a lot of times a dying while driving is something else. Think more along the lines of potentially the IPRs are super common on these trucks to go bad. So those will go bad. The circuit will actually go open. It's a coil winding inside, and the circuit will go open when it has its problem. When that circuit goes open, you have your problem where you have no high pressure oil. It may set a code for that. It may not. 9 times out of 10, that code will go away as soon as the problem goes away. So usually when these go bad, what you'll see is you'll be driving it, the truck will shut down, that circuit goes open, it'll set that code. If you turn the truck off, let it sit for half hour, 45 minutes or so, and then turn the truck back on, whatever winding in that coil that broke contact in the circuit comes back together, and then it works and it'll start up again. So there's a lot of things like that that are possibilities as far as what can cause a no start like that. So as far as to get to Nick's question, I asked for some more information. He hasn't gotten to me yet. So Nick, if you're watching this, definitely leave a comment on this video and let me know some more details so that I can help you better. So, but as far as testing and figuring out what's going on, a couple things about 6 liters, well, really just any computer-controlled diesel, is a computer-controlled diesel is basically impossible to diagnose without being able to talk to the computer, right? So everything on these trucks is controlled by a computer. So if you don't have a scan tool or at a minimum a code reader to see what code is in it, you're not going to be able to do anything as far as practical diagnosing of the problem. So with that being said, if we're just diagnosing based off a symptom, I can give you a lot of things, but nothing is really going to solve your problem. I just unplugged. Sorry, I had long legs and under the desk, and we're pulling on wires. Anyway, nothing's really going to solve your problem unless we can actually plug into it and see what's really going on. So with that being said, hot no start, is 9 times out of 10 a problem with the high side oil system. So within that high side oil systems, I believe you said, let's see here, 2005. So with 2005, there's going to be, you have standpipes and dummy plugs are super common to leak. Ford came out with an updated version of these, so they made the O-ring a slightly different compound, and then they added a nylon washer that supports the O-ring that gives it extra strength and rigidity. So if it doesn't have the updated standpipes and dummy plugs, that's kind of the first place to go. I think you mentioned that those had already been done, so updating those would be the first thing that I would do, as far as figuring out what you're doing with that. The way you can tell without disassembly, well, you have to take the valve covers off either way to get to them to see. But if they're the factory plugs, they're a 10 millimeter hex, and if they are the update plugs, they're a 12 millimeter hex. So that's how you can tell without having to disassemble the oil system. That's how you can figure out what is going on in terms of if they're updated or the factory. So that's kind of the summary on that. So the first thing, anytime you've got a problem with a 6-liter or any of these Huey injection trucks, so that would be your 7.3 Powerstrokes, your 6.0s, and then a bunch of medium and heavy duty trucks use Huey injection. But with any of these trucks, you are going to want to start with checking your oil level and condition. So that's kind of where I would start as far as this is concerned. But again, without a proper scan tool and some stuff to really get into what's going on, you're not going to have a lot of success diagnosing a problem. So that's kind of the summary, I guess, statement on that truck. I guess we got a few more minutes here. I'm going to try to keep these streams to like less than 30 minutes so that if you are coming back and watching these later, you're able to actually get something out of it. A little different, bear with me. This is kind of my first, I mean, it is my first time doing a live stream. So we'll see. I'm pretty sure, let's check here. 0 current viewers. That's reassuring because it's almost like I'm recording a video, but it's different because I'm streaming it and so people can actually engage live. Anyway, that being said, we're going to start doing these live streams. I think we're going to shoot for Sunday at 4 p.m. Arizona time. Is that we're going to do this when we're a few minutes late today, but we're going to start doing that. We'll do them once or twice a month, depending on the need and how much feedback we get from them. So with all that being said, that's kind of what we're doing as far as the streams. I am working on a video, did most of the filming yesterday, and then I'm going to hopefully have a chance to edit tonight, get that up in the next couple days. Did some auction prep yesterday for our Ritchie Brothers auction. I ended up buying 2 trucks. So I did posted a number of shorts, and I talked about how you really shouldn't buy trucks or buy things from an auction that you haven't inspected, because as the saying goes, not all the equipment at the auction is crap, but all the crap equipment is at the auction. So you never know what you're getting with an auction. And I actually have a story on that I'm going to talk about here in just a few minutes. But I bought 2 trucks sight unseen from an auction, and we're going to get them tomorrow. We're picking them up, and we're going to see what they look like. I'll show you guys all of what they are and how we do everything. These trucks are, the plan for them is likely to just fix them and then sell them. I don't think I'm keeping either one of these trucks unless something really jumps out that's unique. Originally, I had bought one of them as just the engine for the new service truck, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fix the truck, and then I'm going to sell it, and then I'm going to use that money to buy an engine for the service truck. So just because I don't need the service truck right now, and I could use the cash more than I could use a running service truck, at least for today. Because again, I still work a full-time job. I'm not into mobile service or doing my own thing just yet, but we are moving that direction. So that's kind of where we're at with that. That's why I bought the 2 trucks. So we're picking those up tomorrow. We're gonna get good video of that. I'm hoping to incorporate some more kind of drone video and put together a little better production quality so that videos actually look good and are enjoyable to watch. So with all that being said, that's kind of like the help out the subscriber as much as we can. I don't think I have any other pending comments. There was a gentleman on a video that had a old body style 7.3. He had a hard brake pedal about a month. He said he replaced the vacuum pump about a month ago, and he was, I think he went. I mean, honestly, I took care of him because the video on diagnosing a hard brake pedal is pretty thorough. It shows and talks about kind of all the steps and all the things you have to do to go about diagnosing that sort of thing. So I don't know if there's anything else really I can do for that. Anyway, we did a collab with Flipping Genius. It's a car flipping podcast where the host over there, I believe Randy Lee is his name. And they do a bunch of he's a used car dealer, but he talks a lot about flipping cars and how you can make money flipping cars. Excuse me. Anyways, if you guys have not seen that or you're interested in that sort of thing, definitely check that out. I will put a link down in the description of this video. Oh yeah, I'll put a link in the description after the stream closes. So definitely check that out if you're interested in learning how to flip cars, or you just want to hear more of kind of me sitting and monologuing. Obviously, me sitting here and monologuing to an audience of, hang on, let's double check, zero current viewers. That's okay. We're going to we're just going to do this, and we're going to keep doing this because the goal of these live streams is to really help the subscriber base, and eventually it's going to grow to where we're helping the members and we're actually providing some kind of real advice in a little more of an interactive format, more than I can get with just posting videos and then replying to comments. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do with these streams. I don't know how well these are going to work, but I see a lot of information kind of in the YouTube sphere talking about how YouTube is promoting streams and shorts. So we blasted the channel with a ton of shorts in the last couple weeks, and we added like 110 subscribers through shorts, and then we also, what did we do? We did something like 35,000 views in over shorts in about a week and a half period. So like shorts did a ton of views. I recently hit the level to where I'm now monetized on YouTube, so now I'm able to actually get paid for the ads that you see on these videos, and not previously YouTube keeps all the money, but now that I'm in their YouTube program, I'm able to keep some of that money, which is cool. So YouTube shorts don't pay a whole lot of money, and shorts are more entertainment, and a lot of the content that I do is not really, strictly speaking, entertainment content. It's more like practical and help you kind of content. So I dabbled a little bit with some like sketch comedy, I guess you'd call it, and some people really like that. I didn't find that it was particularly. It was time consuming to edit. Maybe if I scripted it'd be better, but I didn't really enjoy the production of it so much. So like I enjoy the video production side of doing these projects and doing the video with it. And obviously I'm trying to increase my production value and make them look better, be a little more aesthetically pleasing when you watch them, that sort of thing. But there are entertainment's not really my thing. I mean, like, I want my videos to be entertaining and engaging to watch, right? But as far as like sketch comedy sort of stuff is like not really my jam. So I don't think we're going to do a whole lot more of those. I think we're probably still going to do some shorts as far as showing off some different stuff that we're doing. If we get something more exciting or whatever, we're probably gonna do that. Just because shorts tend to spread, pretty darn far. So we're gonna do that, but it's not really like the main core of the channel. We're not going to a shorts channel. I still want to post long form content. I want to show you guys how I'm doing projects and kind of try to inspire you guys to be able to do more and do things that maybe you didn't think were possible. Save yourself money along the way. Get out and do cool stuff. Build cool projects. Fix stuff yourself. Whatever it is, I want to provide like tangible things that actually help people. So I don't want to, entertainment's not really my thing, but like reviewing tools or showing you how to do things on fixing cars or houses or whatever, whatever is there. My goal is to actually like help in a practical way. So with that being said, there's going to be shorts from time to time, but shorts are not really our main kind of goal or the way we're pushing the channel. So that's kind of the spiel on shorts, and I talk about that a little bit in an upcoming video. But I figured since we're here on the live stream, we might as well cover that and talk about that. Not that anybody's really going to come back and watch this. If you do, let me know how long you stuck around, because we're 15 minutes in here, and I don't know. I don't know, dude. Live streams are kind of new to me, so bear with me if they're a little clunky to start off with. But we're going to do more. We're going to be more engaging. But I had a story I wanted to share with you guys regarding an auction. And we had a really good customer of ours who's a big farmer out here. Recently bought a truck at auction, not from Richie Rose. We have another auction house out here in Phoenix, WSM, Western Sales Management. They run an auction. I don't know how often they auction. Excuse me. Having 3 kids will keep you up all night, man, I'm telling you. So, bought this truck at an auction. It is a 2005, I think. Yeah, 2005 Ford F-350. It is a crew cab, long box, 2-wheel drive, automatic. And when you open the door, it looks really clean inside. It's got 65,000 miles, looks super clean. But it's not. So I had to take apart a couple pieces. We had one of the concerns was like no turn signals. So I had to like take apart the steering column and just to get to the switch to test stuff. And like as soon as you take any of these body panels off, the whole like under dash is just covered in like grass and animal hair and dirt and grime, and it's just gross. And this thing has just been like really, really well detailed, which like props to whoever detailed this truck because it looks fabulous. But like you take anything off and it's like, oh, this car's nasty. So right out of the gate, it looks clean, but it's like surface clean. But I mean, like the detail job was like really thorough. Like they went and they like spray painted black in the wheel wells to like cover up rust and grime. They painted shocks to cover up stuff. Like well detailed for sure, but it's lipstick on a pig. It was a landscape truck. You can kind of faintly see the emblem there on the side of the truck. Anyways, but with this truck, the guy paid, I want to say it was like 10 grand at an auction for this truck. Now, for a crew cab long box, 6-liter Powerstroke, 2-wheel drive, 10 grand is kind of a lot. Excuse me. That's a lot of money for a truck. Now, it runs, it drives, and if it didn't have any issues at 65,000 miles, okay, I get it, it's worth it. Here's the thing. Ford instrument clusters, they record engine hours, and so you can't, at least on the early models, you can't like select through the menu and find the engine hours, but if you have a scan tool, you can plug into the OBD2 port and you can pull the engine hours. So I pulled the engine hours, and what we do is we do some quick math on engine hours versus odometer reading, and we figure out what the lifetime average speed is. For what we would call normal wear, we would expect lifetime average speed to be like 45 to 55 miles an hour. If it's all highway miles, it's going to be 55, 60. And then if it's, a lot of in town, you're going to be down to like, 40, 35, that kind of range. Anyway, this truck had a lifetime average speed of 19 miles an hour. So if we adjust the lifetime average speed to take the hours that it ran, put those hours into normal miles, and then recalculate what the wear on the vehicle is based on mileage, the truck has roughly, if you move that number up to 50, it makes the truck like 160 to 180,000 miles on the truck. So if it's 180,000 miles on a 6-liter, no way in heck that's worth 10 grand. So, and we did an inspection. It had a bunch of things wrong with it. It's going to end up being, I want to say, like $3,000 or $4,000, maybe $5,000 worth of repair work that this truck needs. And some of that is like you'd have to get into it and do some diag to figure out what it needs. But then the big like, oh my goodness gracious, this is a problem issue is you take off the coolant cap and you look down in the bottle and it's full of oil. So engine oil in a cooling system is not a good thing. 9 times out of 10 on a 6-liter, that is not caused by head gaskets. That's caused by the engine oil cooler rupturing and allowing engine oil to go into the coolant. So that's an expensive fix. So the part is like $400 or $500. Always get a Ford part for a 6-liter oil cooler. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you like Dorman. Buy a Ford part for this one. So the part's like, let's say $500 for round numbers. It's like 10 hours of labor to get to it, to do it. While you're in there, you should also do there's a quick connect fitting on the high pressure oil pump that Ford put in that was like super problematic. So you should also fix that. Again, I apologize, I'm so tired. It's like that afternoon slump, you get tired, and yeah, there we are. Anyways, so basically the whole job is like, I think we're like 12 and a half hours. So you're, I don't even know what our shop rate is now. It keeps changing. Let's just say round numbers, $100 an hour, which it's more than that. I think I don't even know what we are now. The point is, at $100 an hour, that's, $1,200-$1,300 in labor plus probably, well, by the time you do intake gaskets, all the other gaskets to get down to it, you're probably $700. So, I mean, it's like $2,000 right out of the gate that you can identify that it needs $2,000 worth of repair work by taking the coolant cap off and visually inspecting the coolant. There's no special tools required. Honestly, if you shine a flashlight in the side of the bottle, you can see there's like a thick layer of engine oil floating on top of the coolant. You could tell that way. So that's a really good example of why you should inspect vehicles before you buy them, because you can look at a picture of the engine bay and it looks great, right? But when you actually look at it, you take the cap off, you visually inspect the fluid, you go, okay, that's a problem, right? And if you're bidding on a truck at an auction, don't get overly like hooked on it. Like, don't make up your mind like, I'm taking this truck home whatever it costs, because you got to figure out what that truck is worth to you, and maybe flex a little bit on that. I was bidding on a truck. It was a 2005 F450 that basically had a good engine for my black truck, and I was the high bidder at like $1,100. A timed auction, so when it's gonna end. The problem with timed auctions is people have time to kind of think of, like, really stew on whether or not they want to spend more money. They look at that bid, they're going, okay, the bid's at $1,100. Is it worth $1,200 to me? And then they think about it, and yeah, it's worth. I mean, long story short, I looked at the truck. I was like, $1,100 is my top. There's a couple parts I can use, but mostly I'm interested in the engine, and I'm not willing to pay an arm and a leg for an engine right now because I don't even need the engine. So the bid ended up going up to like $1,600, and great, somebody else got it, and have a nice day. I really don't care. So not being hooked on, like, not getting overly, what's the word I'm looking for here? Don't make up your mind about buying a vehicle, especially at an auction, before. Don't make up your mind about buying a vehicle. Honestly, it's the bottom line, because if you do, you're going to end up spending a lot more money than you would otherwise. But at the end of the day, there are people. What am I trying to say? I'm sorry. I apologize. It's a little rough. I'm learning to do these live stream things because I'm so used to recording with a camera and then going back and editing out. If I gotta pause and say something or cough or yawn or whatever, I can just like edit it out. And because this is live, we're not editing stuff out.